Last test. Here we go. Good Tuesday evening to you. Glad to have you along here on WLA TV. Jordan King with you from the campus of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. It's a non-conference boys basketball game between the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings and the Kiel Raiders. And on both the boys and girls side, this is another non-conference. I know we've talked about that a lot recently with matchups against teams like Oakfield and Waupun and things like that. This is another school that the Vikings have gravitated towards playing over the last couple of years, the Kiel Raiders. And, man, they come in with one good-looking bunch here this evening. 12-1 on the season, 7-game winning streak. Their lone loss, a 20-point loss to Brillion, who leads their conference, the EWC over there. And I'll tell you what, Kiel has all the makings of an electric, offensively driven basketball team, and one that's had a lot of lopsided scores so far this season. We'll get into them in just a second, but the Vikings, after starting out really rough in the first 10 games, are for the first time this season riding a 2-game winning streak. They're 4-8. Check that. This is the second 2-game winning streak now that I go back through my notes. But WLA is 4-8 on the year, as I mentioned, riding that 2-game winning streak. Got them out of the cellar of the Flyway Conference. We'll give you the standings of the Flyway throughout the night tonight. But Vikings off the schneid there. Their last 2 wins, good ones. The North Fond du Lac one is a team that you would expect the Vikings to beat. Everyone's beat them in the Flyway so far this season. But that Campbell Sport win, I keep going back to that last week. Vikings are going to need a performance like that tonight to keep things close and make this a game against the Raiders of Kiel. Kiel's led by Pierce Aronson. If you haven't gotten to see him play, I've only seen a little bit, but he stands out for this Kiel team. 5'10 junior, averaging 18.8 points per game. He's already hit the 1,000-point mark. Did that earlier on in the season. He's only a junior, so he's got plenty of career left, and already, as I mentioned, hit that 1,000-point mark. 18.8 points per game and 4.5 assists per game to lead the Raiders. Grant Montz is second for the Raiders, 11.6 points per game. Jack Heckman, 10.7 points per game, and Braden April, 10.5 points per game. 4 players in double figures. Not many times that you can say the opponent can mirror that, especially when you're playing an opponent that's 4-8 on the year, but the Vikings can say just that. In fact, Sam Lair is averaging the same that Pierce Aarons is, 18.8 points per game and 4.6 assists per game. So right around the same numbers from these two fantastic juniors for both the Vikings and the Raiders. Noah Gensler, 16.1 points per game. He's seen that average come down just a little bit over the last couple of games. Got himself into foul trouble against both Campbell Sport and North Fond du Lac, but did a nice job to just role play for the Vikings. Kind of just play. You don't have to be the superstar all the time. And as a role player, he did a nice job for the Vikes the last couple times out. Noah Walta, 12.2 points per game. And then rounding out the players in double figures for the Vikes is freshman Gannon Schwartz. He's up to 10.1 points per game. And he looks like the real deal for the Vikes. Just a freshman, but he belongs out there on the varsity floor. So we're about 4 minutes till tip. We're going to step aside. Coming up, we'll have anthem and starters, and then we'll get this non-conference bout tipped off when we come back. Hope you'll stay with us. Can't wait for this evening's game. Kiel, WLA, on WLA TV. Stay with us.
Winnebago Lutheran Academy welcomes you to this evening's non-conference basketball game between the Kiel Raiders and the Vikings of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Winnebago Lutheran Academy, Kiel High School, and the WIAA require good sportsmanship at education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand, remove your hats, and join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the playing of our national anthem. It's time to meet the starting lineups for this evening's game. First, for the Raiders, a 6-foot junior, number 12, Aiden Murphy. A 5'10 junior, number 22, Pierce Arns. A 6'2 junior, number 40, Jack Heckman. A 6'5 junior, number 42, Grant Munn. A 6'1 sophomore, number 44, Braden April. The Raiders are coached by Marcus Funk.
There you go, the starters for the Raiders, and apologies, Pierce Arntz, one of the guards, and he is joined out there with Aiden Murphy, Jack Heckman, Grant Muntz, and Braden April. Coach Room for the Kiel Raiders as well. Starters for the Vikings have remained the same as they have for, about the last month or so. Gannon Schwartz, the freshman, starts alongside 3 juniors, Noah Gensler, Sam Lair, and Chop Simmons. And then rounding out the starting lineup is the lone senior in the starting lineup. There's only a couple of them on the roster. And Noah Walta, number 32 for the Vikings, starts in the starting lineup for the Vikings. So again, 2 Schwartz, 4 Gensler, 12 Lair, 20 Simmons, 32 Walta. For Kiel, 12 Murphy, 22 Arntz, 40 Heckman, 42 Muntz, and 44 April. Starters for both of these teams. Just about ready to roll here. Glad to have you along. And we are, this is when it comes thick and thin. If you don't like hoops, this is a bad time of year. If you love them, man, there's no better time in the season than January, February, when you get things rolling. Got the conference games and the non-conference games coming thick and thin. Kiel wins the tip here, and it goes straight to April, who comes near side, down underneath to Montz. They find him early. He's going to go up against Simmons. Couple of power dribbles underneath, hook shot, no go, and weak side rebound on the far side by Sam Lair. Up ahead to Noah Walta. Walta back out to Lair. Lair has been on a hot streak recently. Both of his last 2 games have been over 20 points. That misses short. And good defensive possession there for the Raiders early on. Arntz wants to push it. Up ahead he goes to April, who dribbles out and will reset. Arntz, who lost control of that one, was trying to queue up his first three of the night, and it slipped out behind his head, as I don't know if they count that as a shot attempt, but an early misfire for him. This is Heckman. Heckman around a couple of screens. High post jumper is good. Good start for the Raiders offensively. Excellent patience, and Heckman pays it off at the high post with a jumper. So an early 2-0 lead for the Raiders, and Sam Lairs into the front court. Hands off to Gannon Schwartz. Gannon looks cross court, stolen. Nice play there by Montz. Up ahead, here comes Arntz. Down the lane, can't get it to go. Good defense there in transition from Sam Lair. And Pierce Arntz still looking for his first bucket here tonight. Underneath and caught in the paint, or just outside the paint, that time was Gannon Schwartz. Kicks it out to Lair. Finds Gensler top of the key. Couple of big steps for Noah Gensler, and he's fouled. They'll say it was a shooting foul for Noah. And Heckman picks up his first, team's first. And Gensler goes to the free throw line. Shoots it at 67%. That was up over 70 for a large part of the season, but the last couple of games, Noah shot it around 50%. This is a little bit more like it. First one is good. I think the 2 games ago might have even been below 50% for Noah, but a couple of confident shots there from the charity stripe, and Noah ties things up for the Vikings. Arntz will initiate the possession here. Go off of a screen from Montz. Good job from the Vikings, but an even better pass. And Montz can't get it to go. Tipped out. April with the jump shot can't get it to go there either. A little bit strong on that one. Simmons hit in the back of the head by Gensler, but the Vikings retain possession. Around a screen goes Noah Gensler. Gets it to Lair. Lair to the corner. Walter loves that spot. That comes up just a little bit heavy on that one, and a good rebound underneath by Montz. Outlet pass to Arntz, and Kiel's back into the front court. Around a screen goes Arntz. Down to the corner. April wants a corner three. Good. Braden April with his first good basket of the night. He's had a couple of opportunities, and his first three-pointer goes down. Smooth-looking stroke there in the corner. Here's Gensler. Right wing three, good. From Noah Gensler, and Gensler's got his first three. Shoots it at a 36.4% clip. Very good shooter from all three levels is Noah Gensler. Underneath, they're going to go back to Mance. Couple of power dribbles. Nice job, Chop Simmons defensively. Shot fake there. Arntz straight to the hoop. Through the contact, no whistle. And Chop Simmons able to put Arntz off just enough, who's still looking for his first points of the night, the elite scorer for the Raiders. Down the lane goes Schwartz. Can't get that one to go. Gannon got all of those to go, it seemed like, against North Fond du Lac last time out. That one does not go down. April, another jump shot that time. This three-pointer comes up short. Rampant pace to start off. 5-5, tied up. Gensler's got all the points for the Vikings. Goes through the contact, no whistle. And a strong rebound once again for Montz. Montz averages 12.8 rebounds per game. Down the lane goes Heckman. Stops, turns, pops, can't get it to go. That was a sweet-looking move there from Jack Heckman, but he can't pay it off with the shot. And Noah Walter secures, clears for the Vikings. Crosses over. Front court goes the Vikings. Arntz doing a nice job defensively as well. That can't be understated so far on the nearly 19-point averaging Sam Lair. Here goes Walter down the lane to Gensler, and Gensler's fouled for the second time tonight. See who that foul goes on. Looked like it might have been April underneath, but we'll get confirmation of that in just a second. No, Jack Heckman, that's his second, so a big whistle there. Gensler goes back to the free throw line where he can build on a 5-point night at the charity stripe. And Gensler's first is good, so he's 3 for 3, remains perfect tonight. I would say perfect from the field, but last time down kind of threw up a wild layup attempt that did not go. So the fourth free throw of the night, that one rattles around and out. First miss of the night from the free throw line for Gensler, and the Vikings have their first lead of the ballgame. Here's Arntz down the paint, like a flash of lightning. Can't get it to go, though. And a big clap underneath. There's a little frustration early here for Arntz. He's had some good looks. Can't get him to fall just yet. Around a screen, and Arntz, I think he's going to get his first here. Into a passing lane, strips the ball, and finishes. Well, now they switched it down at the table to Aaron's. That was my first. I thought I had heard that on a stream that I was watching earlier, but I'll tell you what, we'll go with Aaron's because that's easier for me to remember. So we're going to go with Aaron's, and apologies if that's incorrect. But Kiel retakes the lead in short order after the Vikes were able to get the first lead of the ball game. 7-6 lead for Kiel. Underneath, Lair's in trouble. Steps, passes to Gensler. Gensler kicks it out. Little miscommunication there with Gannon Schwartz. Schwartz saves it, and it's stolen. Nice play there from Aiden Murphy. First time we've called his name. Up ahead goes Aaron's, and he finishes. Beautiful Euro step through the lane. And he's got 4. Just like that, out in transition, does Pierce Aaron's. 9-6, down to the corner. Gensler wants another 3. This looks good, and it is good. Noah Gensler 2 for 2 from 3. He was averaging close to 19 points per game earlier in the season, and he'd like to get back up to that. Certainly can with a couple of nice games. Into the game was Landon Brunner, and Brunner was initiating the offense there, and Aaron's misses the 3. Outlet pass from Simmons is stolen. Once again, Murphy getting his hand into a passing lane. He's got 2 steals here early on. Down to the corner, jab step, good ball movement. Aaron's picks out his man. That was Brunner, and he thought he was fouled, but he was blocked underneath. Another good defensive possession from the Vikings. Down the lane goes Schwartz, kicks it out to Gensler. Noah, who had his arm raked down there. The refs got to start picking up that hack on the arm when both of these teams have gotten away with it a couple of times. Here's Chop Simmons, couple of offensive rebounds for Chop, and a smart play by Aaron's to get the possession back for Kiel as he jumped in the air, and Coach Rumpf going to take a timeout. We'll take it with them, come back in 30 seconds. This is Viking basketball on WLA TV. Back here on WLA TV, Jordan King with you. Glad to have you along this evening. 12:17 to go first half. And a good start from the Kiel Raiders and Noah Gensler. Now, obviously, there's some more to that for the Vikings, but Gensler's had a nice night to start. He's got all 9 of the Vikings' points. Down underneath, they want to get Mance going. He is finding it hard underneath with Chop Simmons, who's doing a great job defensively, as always, for the Vikings. Gensler finds Walta. Walta drives, middle of the paint, shoots the floater. Can't get it to go, comes up short. That's second one of the night for Walta that comes up just short in the middle of the paint. Here goes Aaron's down the lane, left his feet. Still got it to Mons. Shot fake April. Gets to the high post. Now kicks it over to Aaron's once again. Drives the lane, finished with the left hand. No. That should be tipped out, I think, by Chop Simmons. I think it's going to stay with Kiel. And they'll get a couple of officials together and change the call. First official saw it as WLA ball. I also agree with the official out at the point. Not that it's his call, but I agree with him. I think that was missed and should be Kiel basketball. It is. That is short from April, and a nice rebound from Chop Simmons underneath. We'll get to Chop in a second. I did PA on Friday, did the public address, so sitting courtside, you get a totally different view of the game than where I sit here for the broadcast. Walta kicks it. First open 3 for Lair. Bingo. You bet, Sam Lair. First triple of the night for him, and the Vikings have a 3-point lead. April as the Kiel Raiders want to run. This is Brunner. 3-pointer on the way. That won't go. Over the backboard, Viking basketball. Both of these teams average 71 points per game, just about 72 points per game on the season. It's talking to someone today. I was like, it's not a matter of wills. Both teams want to score 100 points, so maybe we see 100 tonight. Who knows? Bounce pass from Gensler down to Simmons. Simmons kicks it out to Walta. Walta off a Chop Simmons screen. Now to Gannon Schwartz. Puts it on the floor, kicks it out. Oh, that's a deep 3 from Noah Gensler. You betcha. It rattled around and nestled in the bottom of the net. The Vikes have a 6-point lead. Here goes Ahrens pushing the tempo and finishes. Nice take to the rack from Pierce Ahrens, and he's got 6. Now they're going back to Ahrens. I don't know what to do. I would ask you for help in the comments if there are any Raider fans, but I keep the comments shut off for the time being. We've had some issues with that. Here's Gensler, high post off a screen, and he's got another. Noah Gensler's got 14 early points here. We are just 8 minutes into the contest, and Gensler's got 14. This is Brunner, looks underneath to Mons. Mons turns and hits. Nice looking soft, looking touch on that jumper from Grant Mons. So a 17-13 lead for the Vikings. Gannon Schwartz beats his man down the paint, and he can't finish. A little bit out of control. Chop Simmons poked it away from Mons underneath, and it ends up with Murphy. And Murphy, haven't seen a ton of him offensively yet, averages 7 points per game, but he's been very good defensively so far tonight for the Raiders. No shot there, as Arnswell was trying to drive. Yeah, we've had some issues with the live stream comments. If everyone kept it positive, I don't care if you rag on me and you say bad things about me, but when you start saying bad things about either team, the kids on the court, man, where are we at? What are we doing? So anyways, we're collectively still in a timeout. Andy Simon's into the game for the Vikings, and he picks up a foul, trailing Braden April, just pulling him around that screen. And it was a nice effort to fight through the screen, but that time a little too aggressive. 4-point lead for the Vikings, 9:24 to go first half. You know, when the Vikings are on defense, Chop Simmons communicates, and this is something you can't hear from up here. There's an Arntz 3, and it's good. So that tightens things up. Back to a point, 17-16. Get back to Chop Simmons in a second. Back to a 1-point contest. Sam Lair goes down left side of the paint, down to Simmons, back to Lair. Lair crosses between the legs. He's got Chop. Instead tries to throw a dangerous pass to Gensler. Andy Simon saves the possession for the Vikings. Down the lane he goes. Chop Simmons, short corner, shot fake. Almost out of control, and a nice cut to the hoop by the sophomore Andy Simon. He's got a pair, and the Vikes lead back up to 3. Arntz comes near side Murphy. Got to withstand runs, you got to feel like, for both of these teams in this game, because both these teams can fill it up offensively. You got to be able to withstand those momentum shifts. Offensive rebound here from Mons. Kicks it back out. That is Casper. Kaysen Casper into the game for the first time. Casper has it. No, check that. That's April. And April back to their main man, Arntz. Down underneath to Mons. Mons still working against Simmons. Nice reverse layup there, Grant Mons. He's got 4 of the 18 now for Kiel. Murphy is guarding Gannon Schwartz, and Murphy got away with another one. That was another foul, and Arntz quickly back the other way, and just like that, he's got 11 points. 30-second timeout for Coach Nell. Tell you what, it's a good defensive performance so far for Aiden Murphy, and he hasn't picked up any fouls, so you might as well be aggressive, but he should have 2 after the last couple of possessions, just mugging Gannon Schwartz going down the paint. But we'll see if they tighten that thing up or not. A lot of clutching and grabbing early on, and the Vikings got to adjust to that. Now, can't complain about it. You might as well adjust how the officials are officiating the game. And right now, Kiel's being more physical out on the perimeter. Hand check, 2 hand checks, which is illegal, but if the refs are going to allow it, you got to play that way. See if the Vikings make that adjustment. Usually they do throughout the course of a night. But right now they have a 1-point deficit, and into the game comes Cole Wiedemeyer, and they're going to give the freshman Gannon Schwartz just a break here, maybe slow things down and take an extra deep breath there. 7:58 to go first half, and Sam Lair is going to be the point guard for the Vikings, and a kick by Murphy. Right now they are kind of in a, looks like kind of a run and jump here. Kind of a 2-3 look, and they're going to sprint 2 guys at the point guard. Jump, try to pick off that first pass. Nice ball movement from the Vikings, ends up with Max Huntsman. He got it from Andy Simon, And the Vikings able to penetrate that zone that time. We'll see how long that lasts for Kiel. Down the lane goes Arntz, and he finishes once again. My goodness, what a player. He's got 13 points early on as he's looking to keep pace with Noah Gensler of the Vikings. Arntz has 13, Gensler has 14. Could see a duel here tonight of individual talent, and a foul. 24 is who they're going to say. So Kason Casper picks up the third team foul for the Raiders. And the Vikings will have an underneath inbounds. It'll be Lair to key it in. Wiedmeyer's free and looking for Gensler, and that was a quick 5, and it's going to go back the other way. Lair was looking to Gensler, had Wiedmeyer in the corner, and another turnover for the Vikings. 7:10 to play first half. Far side, the ball movement here from Kiel has been very good. Underneath to Montz they go, and that's a little bit better of a matchup for Grant Montz. He's got 6 now. Had a tougher time against Chop Simmons. Not efficient at all. Yeah, see, there's another one where Murphy could have picked up another foul, but nothing doing. Here's a 3 for Noah Gensler. Right wing, and he hit it. Tie things back up. Gensler's up to 17 points. Down the lane goes Arntz through the contact, and that could have been an and one, but he finishes at the rim. He's got 15 now. Lair going to use a Gensler screen. Down the lane he goes, and he is hammered. Oh, he got pushed from behind. They're going to go offensive foul there. The Kiel player hit him from behind. You'll have to rewind that and confirm that for me, but the Kiel player hit him in the back and into a teammate, and you never want to see that. One of the Kiel players stayed down. That becomes a very dangerous play underneath, and I think Lair was pleading his innocence there. And good to see Kason Casper up and being helped off the floor. So the offensive foul, the third team foul for the Vikings. First foul for Sam Lair, so no real foul trouble for the Vikings starting to add up just yet. But I'll tell you what, Kiel puts a lot of pressure on you, a lot of pressure on the officials, and you got to play good defense. It's tough to play these guys and not pick up fouls. That's for certain. 6 minutes to go here or thereabouts in this first half. Down underneath goes Montz. Oh, great positioning. Can't get it to go. Goes up again and finishes. That's great offensive positioning by Montz, and just finished underneath. When he gets that low, you're going to have a tough time stopping him. Here goes Chop Simmons. Good jab step, kicks it out to Wiedmeyer. Wiedmeyer looks to Gensler. High post, Noah Gensler. Looks near side, Andy Simon. Simon drives to the paint, and he's hacked. Fouled there. He'll head to the free throw line. First chance for Simon at the charity stripe. First chance at the line for anyone not named Noah Gensler. First foul there from Landon Brunner. 5:51 to go in the first half. Couple of rhythm dribbles for Andy, and the first one is good. So Andy's got 3 now and cuts this back to a 3-point contest. Second free throw for Simon is perfect as well. So back to a 2-point game, and Pierce Arntz initiates the offense, uses a screen from Montz, now drives the paint, comes near side to Brunner. Underneath to Montz they go. He's got 8 already. Through a contact. Oh, that looked like a foul underneath. No whistle there. And the Vikings play on. Andy Simon near side Wiedmeyer. Wiedmeyer, center of the court. Left wing 3. Sam Lair comes up short. Offensive rebound fought for and won from Cole Wiedmeyer. Here's Simon. Looks out to Gensler. Gensler jab step. Middle of the paint. Goes up. Count. No. That's a good call. Wave off the basket. Underneath inbounds for the Vikings. 5th team foul, and April picks up his first, and the 5th team foul for Kiel. Underneath inbounds for the Vikings was Sam Lair. Oh, that's That is quite a quick count. And that was tapped around, stolen. Oh, and just slipped out of the hands from Landon Brunner. That was terrific defense by the junior from Kiel. By the way, Kiel has one senior, Everett Sager. Check that, two of them. And Brett Hartlaub. They got, I'll tell you what, if this year isn't their year, maybe next year is. Here's Gensler for three, missed that one. And skying for the rebound was Pierce Arntz. That was a way to attack the glass right there. Arntz has it now. Near side, this is April. Goes around a screen from Montz. And April hits the jumper. That is gorgeous offense run by the Raiders. And they once again have a 4-point lead. Sam Lair into the front court. Stutters down the lane. Through the contact, no whistle. Good block by Arntz. And Lair hustles back defensively. Wiedmeyer's drawing the Arntz defensive assignment, and Arntz picks up his first foul of the night on that one. That's his sixth, or the team's sixth, not his sixth. They've let that go all night. If I'm Arntz, I continue to do that until I really am in foul trouble. Might as well be physical, especially in that backcourt. Down the lane goes Lair, and now they're going ticky-tack as Coach Nell shakes his head. I don't think either coach liked that. Coach Nell lost 2 points, and Coach Rumpf just had Arntz pick up his second foul on a ticky-tack foul, and that's bonus, 7th team foul. So Lair will go to the charity stripe to shoot 1-1. Sam shoots it at 68.4% from the free throw line. First one looks good, is good, and Lair's got 4. He's been kept quiet here early. Arntz has done a nice job drawing the top assignment from the Vikings on the defensive side of the floor. 4:19 to play first half, and Lair can cut it to a 2-point Raider lead if this goes down. This comes up just short, crawls over the front edge of the rim. And it is a 2-point contest, 30-28. Both of these teams are probably going to be ahead of their being on pace of their season averages, which is 71 and change. Shot fake there. Arntz gets caught, now finds April. April drives to the hoop and finishes. That was an aggressive take from Braden April. First time we've seen that tonight from him. And he regains the 4-point lead for Kiel. Gensler gets to the high post once again. Loves that spot, and same result. And Coach Nell wants another timeout. He takes his second 30 of the first half, and we will take it with them. 32-30. The Raiders lead the Vikings. Back with more after this. Stay with us. So coming out of the timeout, Vikings and the Raiders, 32-30. 3:48 to go first half. And Arntz will get things going here early. He's had a very nice night, got 15 points. Does the 5'10 junior. But it's been the ball movement really more than anything else. This is April. Bounces underneath to Montz. Looks far side. Here's a triple on the way. That just missed off to the right. Good looking shot from Murphy. He hasn't gotten going offensively. Oh, the Euro step. Oh, Sam Lair finishes at the rim to tie this thing back up. Beautiful move from Sam Lair. And it's 32-32. Lair up to 7 points here tonight in the first half. Murphy looks far side, 3-ball on the way. Arntz rolls it in. That is the shooter's touch for Pierce Arntz. And he's got 18 points here in the first half. Lair crosses, gets to the middle of the paint. Floats, won't go. Rolls off, and Montz, has yet another rebound for the Raiders. He's probably got 10 here in this first half. Averages 13 a game. Far side, there's Montz. Bounce pass to April. Vikings into a zone. Missed that on the previous possession. Here goes Arntz down the lane and can't get it to go. The floater wouldn't go. A little bit of a Noah Walter just had his hand on the back. Wonder if that altered the shot at all there for Arntz. 35-32. Simmons has it high post, working against what looks to be a zone as well for Kiel. Walters got caught here from Murphy. Top of the key goes Simmons. Far side, Gensler. Here's Lair. Good ball fake from Sam Lair. Gets to the free throw line, kicks it down. Open three for Gensler. This one misses. Strong from Noah Gensler. And guess who for the rebound? You bet. Grant Montz. Here's Arntz. Looks far side. Straight back to Montz from Pitson, who's into the game for the first time in this first half. Aiden Murphy now has it between the circles. Bounces into Montz. There's Arntz, and, that looked good. It was dead on line. I was about right behind the hoop from where I am, and it was dead on, but didn't hit anything. A little strong there from Arntz. Walta has it for the Vikings in the corner. 1 minute and 20 seconds to play first half. Lair, Walta wants the three this time, comes up short, and I think it was tipped out by Noah Gensler. Yeah, it was. Back over to the Raiders. 1 minute, 13 seconds left. And Heckman comes back into the game for the first time in quite a while. He picked up 2 quick fouls in this first half and has been sitting ever since. But Coach Rumpf going to trust him at least on the offensive side of the floor. We'll see if he goes offense, defense here, or just trusts Heckman with the remainder of this first half. Here's a three from April. Oh, he wasn't even in stride, and he hit it. Not even in rhythm. He's got 10, does Braden April. 38-32, 6-point lead for the Raiders. Gannon Schwartz into the front court. He's been sitting for a few minutes for the Vikings as well. Here's Gannon, and that's almost stolen as Murphy got his hand on it, and Murphy almost stole it once again. Schwartz wants the three. Oh, down and out. Looked good, but it wouldn't go for the freshman. Gannon Schwartz had 17 points on Friday night in the first half. Still looking for his first point here tonight. Part of that is Murphy. Part of that is Schwartz. Well, it's a little bit of luck there as Noah Walta picks up the foul, and that is the dreaded throw the head back and yell foul that is making its way down to this level of basketball. Used to just be reserved for the NBA where you could scream and get a foul, but or throw the head back. Hey man, that's no knock on Arntz. Arntz just got it to go, by the way, at the buzzer, and the Vikings are going to see an 8-point deficit into the halftime intermission. That was no knock on Arntz. If I played and it worked, I'd do that too for sure. So halftime, 40-32. Offensive outbursts in the first half from Noah Gensler and Pierce Arntz. We'll give you the halftime stats when we come up in just a couple of minutes here at halftime. Elsewhere, the girls basketball team playing down at Campbellsport. We'll try to get you an update on that one as well. Hope you'll stay with us on WLATV. Back here at halftime. Ooh, we got to mute that. Sorry, I know you want to hear the 80s rock or 70s. I don't know. I don't know my decades. Whatever. But YouTube's going to take us down again. Don't like that. Give you some updates here scoring-wise in the first half. 2 points for Jack Heckman, 8 for Grant Muntz. Braden April has 10 at halftime, and leading the Kiel Raiders is Pierce Arntz. As we thought he might, he had a first half, shot the lights out, got out in transition, and finished with 20 there in that first half. For the Vikings, 2 from Max Huntsman, 4 from Andy Simon, both those guys coming off the bench. Both average about 3 points per game. Simon's got 4, Huntsman's got 2. 7 for Sam Lair, and from a Viking standpoint, thank goodness for Noah Gensler. He has 19 points in that first half to kind of buoy the Vikings as we head towards the second half of play. Both teams still in the locker room. Give you an update from down in Campbellsport. Still 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. The Vikings lead Campbellsport 33-14. So a good start down there in Campbellsport for the Lady Vikings. Really quickly, Springs 6-0, Campbellsport and Omro and Mayville all 4-2. Lamira, Laconia, WLA all 2-4. North Fond du Lac sits at the bottom of the conference for the boys basketball season at 0-6. Just wanted to give you an update on that. We told you we'd get to it. Funny enough, both of these teams here tonight, both WLA and Kiel, last game wins against North Fond du Lac. The Vikings beat them 86-42, and Kiel beat them 96-51. Coming back with the second half in about 6 minutes. Hope you'll stay with us. WLA TV. Back here, WLA-TV, glad to have you along. 40-32, 20 points for Pierce Arntz and 19 for Noah Gensler in the first half of action here between the Raiders and the Vikings. And the supporting cast just a touch better for the Raiders with the 10 and 8 scored by April and Montz respectively. Last update I got right before the end of the first half was 48-16. Yeah, just confirming that for the WLA girls basketball team. They're at Campbell Sport. Here's Noah Walta. First possession gets a Gensler 3 free, but Gensler comes up short on that. That was a long triple attempt for the Vikings. This is Murphy, and they get it to Arntz. First touch of the second half for Pierce Arntz, and he cuts through. Murphy looks for him now in the corner. He's got it. Looks underneath for Montz. Montz reestablishes, going to get against Simmons, and down Simmons goes, and Montz finishes. He's got 10. I guess the referee is saying that was a flop, and it takes someone falling for Murphy to pick up a foul as Gannon Schwartz finally goes down. That's the first foul for Aiden Murphy. Very physical against Gannon Schwartz. Even right now, just got his arms around him as Gannon's just trying to walk to where he's supposed to start up. I just don't know if we need that in high school basketball, but down the lane goes Gensler. He traveled. Yep, picked up the pivot foot, and it's going back the other way. But give credit to Murphy and all the tricks and tips that maybe someone would associate with, like, Draymond Green maybe. He's frustrated, Gannon Schwartz, and he's had a very nice game here tonight. That's a travel. 3 seconds in the lane. Could have probably got a travel from Heckman. But Murphy has done everything he's been asked to do. Good defensively. He's been physical with the 5'9" Gannon Schwartz. And he's run the offense to a certain extent as well for Kiel. When they want to move Arntz to an off-ball position, Murphy's been great as kind of that second point guard. Here goes Arntz down the lane. And he almost finished through contact. To the free throw line he goes. He was fouled by Noah Walta. 10-point lead for the Vikings, or pardon me, for the Raiders. And Kiel looks well on their way to hitting the 80-point mark here tonight. Arntz hits his first free throw. That was the first trip to the line tonight for Kiel. And a couple rhythm dribbles for Arntz. His second is good as well off the left hand. He's got that pure lefty stroke, says Pierce Arntz. And he's got 22 points here tonight. Just a fantastic play. Fun to watch, too. Down the lane goes Gensler. Here's Chop Simmons. Kicks it out top of the key, Walta. Walta goes down the right side of the paint, up with the right hand, and he won't finish. But he'll go to the free throw line. The floater almost went down, and the foul's on 44 April. Just April's second here tonight. Walta goes to the free throw line. And the first free throw for Noah is no good. Walta's averaging 12.2 points per game. Gannon Schwartz averaging 10.1 points per game. The Vikings have got nothing from them combined. Second one missed short from Walta. So that's 22.3 points per game. 22.5 points per game that the Vikings are missing from a couple of their starters. When you're playing a team that matches you with 4 players in double figures on the season, you got to get those guys to contribute in big games like this. Nice move underneath. Oh, just couldn't finish. And tapped out by Murphy. Murphy, that was a beautiful up and under. Good footwork underneath by the one of the guards. And the Vikings will try to chip into this 12-point Kiel lead. The Vikings coming from behind have not been great here this season, but they've been playing much better basketball this last 3 weeks or so than they had early on in the season as well. So kind of can't take all of that and extrapolate it to this game. Simmons caught in the paint, gets it to Lair, and Lair is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. It's be interesting to see if Arntz picked this up. Yeah, he did. They'll say he hit Lair in the head. I guess I didn't see that. But Lair goes to the free throw line. That's the third on Arntz. We'll see if he's comes off the floor or Coach Rumpf wants to trust the elite scorer on the defensive side of the floor. Looks like that's going to be the decision from the Kiel coaching staff. First free throw no good for Sam Lair. His first miss on the night. He made his 2 first-half free throws. That one rattles around and out. Better looking shot that time, but it wouldn't go. So the Vikings have missed 4 free throws here in this second half. They trail by 12. Arntz looks near side Murphy. Turning underneath Montz. Montz against Simmons. Fouled. Count the basket and the foul. And Montz heads to the free throw line. He's got a dozen. Simmons is still asking what he did wrong. He thought it was a hook from Montz. Should have been an offensive foul. Ref saw it differently. Montz's free throw is good as well. So he is up to 13 points. Gannon Schwartz up the floor and another ticky-tack foul. I'll tell you what, they could, for as many as the guys are earning. There's another one on Murphy. He's got 2 now. Fouls they are calling are kind of ticky-tack. And Sam Lair just threw it off the hand of Montz, off Lair last. And it's going back the other way. Lair trying to sneak one past Montz. And savvy play from the 6'5 junior. Here's Heckman, mid-range, book it. And it's a 17-point Kiel lead just like that, 49-32. Coming out of this second half locker room, and into the passing lane goes Murphy. Murphy's going to slow it down. Good decision, didn't have numbers. Here goes Arntz, poked away from behind, fouled. Lair picks up another foul. And it'll be an underneath inbounds for the Raiders. Second foul on Sam Lair. And Arntz will trigger it in. Goes to Heckman, and Heckman couldn't get it to go. On the rebound was Noah Walta. Walta up the floor, looks to the right corner. There is Sam Lair. Bounces down to the left, short corner with Chop Simmons. He finds Gannon Schwartz cross court, and Schwartz strong on that one. Didn't hit anything. Rebound was down with Montz up ahead to Arntz. Kicks it out. 3-ball on the way. April, no good. Skying for the rebound goes Gensler. 14:33 to play in the ball game. Vikings still trail by 17. Down the lane goes Schwartz. He finally hit one. His first points of the night. Schwartz has gotten some good looks, but hasn't been able to finish. That one he did. 30-second timeout. Should be the last I was going to say, should be a full timeout because Coach Nell used both 30s in that first half. I was going to say, man, when did they change that? So 15-point lead for Kiel, and we'll come back with more after this. 14:27 to play. So after the first Viking bucket in a couple of minutes, Coach now wanted to just take a quick timeout, but instead a full timeout was granted to use both of his 30s there in that first half. Still should have 2 fulls left, should Coach Nell. His team trails by 15 points, 49-34, 14:22 to play. Here's Montz, top of the key, 3 on the way. He got it. Oh, goodness. How do you guard the big fella at 6'5", hits a straightaway 3. He had 8 in the first half. And he's already got 8 in the second half, up to 16 points. There, he's got a block. He erased that one from Andy Simon. Looking up ahead goes Arntz. Nice play underneath, and offensive foul as Sam Lair took the charge. And Mons knew it right away. That one would have really gotten the Kiel contingent going here tonight. They already lead it by 18. That would have made it 20. Great ball movement. Once again, Murphy, the ball barely touched his hands, and he was firing off a pass to Mons. Give him an attempt at the hoop. Oh, C parted there for Chop Simmons. That's his first bucket of the night. I don't know if Kiel just was staying out on the shooters, not respecting Simmons and his ability to drive to the hoop, but Chop had an easy path there. That was a rare miss for Arntz. And the rebound down to Chop Simmons. Here's Chop, good ball fake. Down the lane he goes, fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line. And they point at Mons, and he cannot believe it. Second on Mons, sixth on the Raiders here in this second half. First free throw for Chop Simmons is good. Just got word there are people out there, boys on the laptop, girls WLA on the phone, Badgers on TV. Second free throw for Chop Simmons is good. 4 points for Chop. 4 straight points for Chop. The Vikings have cut this lead back to 14 points. Here's April. Girls' halftime score was like 52-17 or thereabouts down in Campbell Sport. Here goes Arntz, middle of the paint, floats, comes up short. Rebound Sam Lair. 13 minutes to play. Lair's trying to get out in transition. Gives it to Noah Gensler. Gensler to the high post. Looks for Simon. Andy Simon's there between the legs. Dribble goes the opposite way, being hounded by Murphy. Good defense there by Murphy once again. Into the paint goes Simmons. Had to get out of the paint, pass it and leave the paint. Risk a 3-second call. Here's Lair. Open in the corner. 3 ball comes up short. Don't know if that was tipped. Offensive rebound, Andy Simon. He's got another bucket. He's got 6. Lead back down to 12. Viking students back on their feet. See if they can make an impact here late in this one. I haven't heard anything about the Badgers game, but if it's going to be like one of these, let's hope it's more like the girls' game than the boys' game, right? Ooh, Arntz almost stepped into the backcourt there. Just recollected himself. Now he's going to run Cole Wiedemeyer off a Mont screen down to the corner. April 3 on the way. Oh, that was all but down. How did that not go down? Good-looking shot from Braden April. He's got 10. That would have given him his 3rd 3 of the night. Down underneath, Cole Wiedemeyer. Good positioning, and he finishes. It's a 10-point game, 8-0 run for the Vikings, and that's going to force a Kiel timeout, full timeout, and a little bit of pressure being put back on the Raiders by the Vikings here in the last couple of minutes. 12 minutes or thereabouts to play here tonight, and the Vikings have done it here in the second half without any points from Noah Gensler so far. It's been a little bit more balanced for the Vikings than it was there in that first half. Can Gensler get things going as the Vikings have chipped it down to a 10? Still got some work to do. This is kind of a case of one of those where you expend so much energy trying to erase an 18-point deficit. Do you have enough in the tank to give that little bit extra push? We'll see if the Vikes do have that push. Meanwhile, on the Kiel side of things, Pierce Arntz, 22 points, only 2 here in the second half, so he'd like to get going in the second half as well. Earlier this season, joined the 1,000-point club. Of the current Vikings, I think you're looking at maybe Gensler, Lair, and Gannon Schwartz, I would think, would probably fit that mold to potentially get to the 1,000-point club. On the floor foul here. Nice screen and roll, and then they screened for Mont. So Mont screened for Arntz, and then a back screen from Murphy to screen for Mont, and it got Mont free at the rim. They threw it up there, and the foul by Andy Simon. Second foul from Simon. Oh, nice play on the inbounds pass. Gets the ball to Arndt, and he's fouled underneath Cole Wiedmeyer. Arndt was trying to get around him. Wiedmeyer bodied him. And Coach Nell is saying Arndt used his shoulder to get around Cole Wiedmeyer. If you call that foul, you don't got to call the foul on our guy. I've seen more elbow used than that. Let's just say that. This is Brunner. Top of the key. That is Heckman. Heckman with a couple of pass fakes. Finds Montz. Coming through a couple of screens is Arndt. Oh, this is a little bit of a mismatch here. He's got Chop Simmons on him. Can he take Chops to the middle of the paint? He can. Goes up with the right hand and finishes. Great finish from Arndt. He's got 24 points here tonight. And he was fired up after that one. That was a big bucket. I think he knows that was a big bucket for Kiel to stop what was an 8-0 run for the Vikings. Here is Sam Lair. He wants to respond with a three. Oh, he hit it. Stop it, Sam Lair. That's his second three of the night. He's up to 10 points on the evening, and it's back to a single-digit game. Nice slick behind the back dribble and find for Montz from Arndt. And it's back to 11 points. That was a nice possession there. Here goes Lair. Down to the corner, Gensler. Shot fake there. Gets to the jump shot just right around the high post. He's deadly from the high post. A little bit further off to the wing that time. Couldn't get it to go. Ooh, that was almost an over and back. But Murphy got into the backcourt before he collected it. Montz here. Arndt goes around a screen. Wiedmeyer trying to keep with Arndt. It's a tough task, that's for sure. Baseline, Arndt's fouled on the floor, and that's the sixth team foul on the Vikings. They've picked up 3 fouls on the last 2 possessions. Underneath inbounds, Arndt looks to Montz. Montz back out to Arndt. Couple of screens, 3 ball on the way. That one misses. Looked like Brunner got free there in the corner. Couldn't hit the 3, though. Crossing over is Lair. Top of the key, Simmons. Hands off to Gensler. Uses the Simmons screen. Chop rolls. Only to the free throw line. Here's Sam Lair. Crosses once, crosses twice. Gets to the middle of the paint. Poked away by Arndt. And Arndt wants to run the break. We'll see if he pulls up. Nope, he's going to go to the baseline. Kick it back out to Murphy. Good ball movement. Brunner extra pass. Lobbed into Montz. Working against Simmons and hits it. Oh, that is gorgeous. All 5 Raiders touched the basketball. And then Kiel finished it with Grant Montz. I got him down for 10 points here in the second half. He's got 18. Check that, 12 points in the second half. He's up to 20 is Montz. Arndt's had 20 in the first half. Montz has it here in the second half. Oh, and Skies for another rebound. I'm not able to keep accurate stats for points and rebounds. Points is plenty for a one-man crew up here, but I got to imagine that Montz is close to 20 rebounds. He's probably up to a 20-20 game. He's got another offensive rebound here. Goes up. Can't finish it. Offensive rebound. Offensive rebound tipped for and thrown off of Chop Simmons. And Montz wins himself. And the Raiders another possession. Nice play. So it is a 13-point lead now for the Raiders. Vikings had it cut down to 9 at one point. Coach Rumpf called the timeout. Well, it was at 10. Vikings got it down to 9. And then it's a 4-0 run to get it here to this 13-point lead for the Raiders. Arndt's down the paint. And can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound. Count the basket and the foul. Grant Montz. I think Huntsman picks up the foul. His first, 7th team. Lair boxed him out there. I just don't know if he got him far enough away to create an over the back or a push call. So it's back to a 16-point Raider lead. Here's Huntsman, and he traveled, shuffled the pivot feet. And it's going back the other way. Kiel done a nice job here in this last couple of minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll turn the crowd noise back on. Apologies about that. But out of that timeout, have responded to a pretty big Viking run with an 8-0 run of their own. Check that as a 7-0 run of their own. Make it a 10-0 run. Braden April with his third 3 of the night. He's got 13 points, and it's a 19-point Kiel Raider lead. Down the lane and finishing through the contact, count the basket and the foul. Gannon Schwartz, third foul on Aiden Murphy. 7th team foul on the Raiders. And Schwartz will go to the line. He's got 4 points now tonight. And shoots it at a very healthy 78.4% clip. And hits the free throw. And normally you'd look at someone 5'9" and say, well, I bet he doesn't get to the free throw line very often. That's not the case with Gannon. He plays a very physical brand of basketball. So he does get to the free throw line. Full timeout from Kiel. We're going to take it with them, a 16-point lead for the Raiders in the timeout break. We'll come back with more after this. (64-48). Vikings had 32 at halftime. 64-20, the Vikings lead Campbell Sport. Just about 15 minutes southeast from here. So the Vikings rolling there. They look like they're going to win that and move on with their week. They play Mayville on Friday. We'll have that here on WLA TV. Here's Arntz. Hands off to April. April back to Arntz. Arntz, nice bounce pass to Murphy, and Murphy finishes at the rim. First points of the night for Aiden Murphy. Kind of hard to believe. He's played almost the entire game. First points just coming here with about 7 minutes left to play. That's poked away and saved by Brunner. Straight to Walta. Noah Walta down the lane and finishes. Nice take from Noah Walta, his first points of the night. Back to a 16-point game as the Vikings try to keep it within shouting distance and give themselves a shot here down the stretch. April looks far side Arntz. Arntz lobs it into Montz. Montz one power dribble back to Arntz. Uses the screen. Oh, just rimmed out for Arntz. Outlet pass to Gannon Schwartz. He spins past Arntz. Crosses over. Middle of the paint. Won't go. Offensive rebound. Tipped up by Huntsman. He can't get it to go. And I think Gannon Schwartz hit it out last. Oh, no. They're going to have a conversation there. And Gannon Schwartz did hit it out last. It's the second time tonight that an official near half court has made the call over the official standing right there, but I think both times were the correct calls. So I'd like to see them get together and get the right outcome if they can. That's tipped away from Sam Lair and heads into the bench area for Kiel, and the Raiders will keep the basketball. Kiel second in their conference to Brilliant, and Brilliant beat them by 20 early on in the season, so clearly Brilliant a quality team. And Montz finishes yet again through the contact. I think that's another one for Huntsman. 25 points now for Grant Mons. 2 for 2 at the free throw line, make it 3 for 3. I don't think any of his free throws have even come close to touching the rim. And as a team, Kiel doesn't shoot it extremely well from the free throw line. Mons is only a 46.2% shooter from the free throw line, but he's made all 3 tonight. And Arntz, in his own right, is only 63% as Gannon Schwartz goes down the lane and finishes at the hoop once again. He's up to 7 points for the Vikings. Arntz is only 63% from the free throw line. He's 2 for 2 tonight. So I always take those with a grain of salt at the high school level because there are so many different things that impact shooting and impact scoring and all the percentages and stats that you can pull up. And these kids are 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. That changes things a little bit. April misses that 3, coming up short. Near side rebound was Sam Lair. Lair crosses over, middle of the paint, free throw line, looks near side Gensler. Gensler around a screen. Gets to the high post, looks no Walta. Walta was falling away on that one and came up short, as you might expect, on a three-pointer that you're kind of off balance on. 69-52, 17-point Raider lead. Far side, scoring is kind of cooled off a little bit here in this last couple of minutes, and Mons pokes that one out, goes back to the Vikings. It's so hard dealing with Mons because you got the 6'5" frame. He's a physical athlete, and he's able to get his hands around and tip a ball to himself. Here's Chop Simmons from the free throw line. That's a beautiful looking stroke from Chop. He's got 6. But getting back to Mons, he's able to tip it to himself a lot of times without even creating any contact. So, you can shout over the back or foul or whatever you want, but it's not because he's not creating any contact. Down underneath goes Arntz, and he finishes at the hoop. Pierce Arntz has 6 points. He's got 26 here in the second half. 26 for him, 26 for Mons. Both of those two have driven the car, so to speak, tonight. Now goes Noah Walta once again, getting to the hoop. He's got 4. A little bit more assertive these last couple of possessions has Noah Walta been. 15-point deficit for the Vikings. Got to step on the gas pedal a little bit more coming up here. That's a steal here, though. And Walta, check that. That was Lair looking up ahead to Noah Gensler, and Gensler finishes at the rim. His first 2 points here of the second half, and a timeout for Kiel. Gensler's got 21, 71-58, down to a 13-point game. 30-second timeout from Kiel. Timeout there. Want to clean a couple of things up. We'll take it with them and come back after this. Back here out of the timeout. 69-22 down in Campbellsport. We'll probably the last update we'll give you there. It's under 9 minutes, so they'll have the running clock there to end that game between the Vikings and the Campbellsport Cougars, and that's about one of the first unforced turnovers we've seen tonight from Kiel. Take care of the basketball so well, and that time Murphy was on a different page with a cutting, I think it was Jack Heckman on the wing. Down the lane goes Schwartz and threw it into the backcourt looking for Chop Simmons. Schwartz said it was tipped by Murphy, and the referee rolled his eyes and walked the other way. So Arntz will initiate things on this offensive possession here for Kiel, as he so often does. Between the legs dribble there, and he's going to stand out near half court with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left. Waltz has got to come out and meet him, And we'll see if they're just going to stand around. That's a long time to do that, but we'll see. Heckman comes near side. April finds it back to Arntz. Arntz almost lost control of it. Bounces it back out to April. He's guarded by Sam Lair, who fouls him from behind. And April will head to the free throw line. Braden April shoots it at 68.2% from the charity stripe. And it's just the 7th team foul. 4th, though, on Lair, so he's got to be careful. Although there's a kind of throw the caution to the wind of being careful here. First free throw looks good, and it is good for Braden April, who averages 10.5 points per game. He's up to 14 tonight. And the second one is good as well for April. So he's got 15. Down the lane goes Gannon Schwartz, spins, and foul. He'll go to the free throw line. That was not a foul in the first half, or this game would be a little bit different, I think. Fourth foul, by the way, on Murphy. First free throw no good for Gannon. Again, as a freshman, shoots at 78.4% from the free throw line. Walter shoots it at 80%. Gensler at 67, Sam Lair at 68. So you have 4 players that shoot it right around 70 or greater from the free throw line. Second one's good for Gannon Schwartz. He's 2 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. Vikings trying to chip into a 14-point deficit. Far side. This once again is April, who's hit both of his free throws tonight, but, well, you can't judge it on that. Every Raider has hit their free throws tonight. They are 7 for 7 from the free throw line. One of the factors that have helped them build this lead. Here's Mons. I tell you what, when Mons got the basketball, wouldn't have minded seeing a foul there. And Noah Walta picks up the foul. 1-and-1 bonus coming for Arntz. Arntz trying to build on a 26-point outing here tonight. He's a perfect 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and there's the first free throw miss of the night. Why aren't they playing that? It should have been 1-and-1 bonus. Why didn't they play that basketball? You couldn't have told me that was on the shot. Well, that's a free point for Arntz. I mean, he'll take it, no doubt, but, oh, how do you miss that? Wow. Chop Simmons. I mean, you can't tell me. The referee walked away from it saying 1-and-1. Oh, man. Down the lane goes Chop Simmons. Unless I missed something, you can rewind and tell me if I missed something, but I thought the referee walked away. The foul was clearly on the floor. It was only the 8th team foul. Should have been bonus 1-and-1. I mean, it's not going to impact the outcome of this game. Can't get stuff like that wrong. 15-point lead. And Heckman back to the free throw line. I say back to. This is his first trip. Check that. Heckman's first one is good, and this is the guy you don't want to foul. He shoots it at an 80% clip, 80.8. So, out of everyone on that Kiel Raider team, this is the guy you want to stay away from. And you can tell when he squares it up. Oh man, it looks like it's going down, and more often than not, at least statistically speaking, it does. Hanging is Sam Lair, can't get it to go. He tips it away from Murphy on the rebound, and it'll go back over to the Raiders. 1 minute and 44 seconds left, a 17-point Viking lead, or check that, Raider lead, excuse me. And get it up ahead to Murphy. Murphy crosses once, guarded by Gannon Schwartz, and fouled by Gannon Schwartz. Aiden Murphy shoots it, he's 100% on the season. He's only shot 4 free throws. You can kind of see why. after tonight's game. Not very assertive offensively. An elite defender for certain. I think I missed that. I think they changed that to the 10th team foul before, and I might have missed that. Someone just indicated something to me, so perhaps I missed that. I apologize. I make mistakes every now and again. And by every now and again, I mean like every 10 minutes. 1 for 2 from the free throw line for Aiden Murphy. That's his first miss on the season. He's 5 for 6 on the year. Gensler down the paint, and they can't control it. Can't corral it, out of bounds. Back to the Raiders. 18-point lead. 19 is the game-high lead tonight for Kiel. Here goes Arntz into the front court. Past a couple of different Vikings. I don't know if the Vikes are going to foul here or not. Walta looks like he's going to, and send Arntz back to the free throw line for double bonus. I was thrown off when the referee said 1 and 1, so 5th foul on Noah Walta.
In for the Vikings, number 3, Cole Wiedmeyer.
1 minute and 15 seconds left. 77-59, this Kiel Raider team, we told you pregame, Vikes were going to have to play as they did the other night against Campbellsport to keep themselves close tonight, and that's certainly, I think that was as billed. First free throw good for Arntz, and second one on its way and good as well. So he is 5 for 6 from the free throw line. All of them coming here in the second half. He's got 9 points in the second half, 29 points on the game. Murphy was fouled, and we'll see if the Vikes continue to foul or not. Here goes Arntz, and he'll pick up a foul out at the perimeter. Foul on Gannon Schwartz. 20-point lead. Vikings not wanting to sit back with a minute left. Gensler was wondering, he pushed a guy with two hands and did not pick up a foul. All you're going to do is get someone hurt in that scenario. Seen it happen, actually, a couple of years ago. Forget who the boys were playing, and when it's foul time, you got to be watching for it. Otherwise, you end up with rambunctious types of fouls. 79-59. Second free throw is up and good. 6 for 8, 30-point night for Pierce Arntz, and he will take a seat to a nice ovation there from the Kiel traveling support. 30 points tonight. Here's Gensler for 3. That misses. Fought for. Should stay with the Vikings. Underneath inbounds, Lair will key it in. Looking for Gensler. There's Noah. Floater good. Gensler's only got 4 points in the second half. He has 23 on the night, and they'll say Kiel stepped over the line on the inbounds pass. Give the ball back over to the Vikings. At the conclusion of the game, we'll give you final numbers between the two teams, leading scorers. No one quite as high as Arntz. Here's another 3 for Noah Gensler. Gensler's hit 5 threes here tonight. Hard to believe that's not going to be good enough. But he's up to 26 points, is Noah Gensler. And the Vikings just going to let Kiel dribble this out here to end tonight's game. Couple of subs in for Kiel, and going to get to dribble things out. So that'll do it. It's 80-64. The high-flying Kiel Raiders come in and get a non-conference win over the Vikings. Give you some final numbers coming up here in just a second. As quickly as I can do math, that's how quick you'll have the scores. We'll start with the Vikings, the losing team here tonight. 80-64, adding up to those 64 points. 2 points for Cole Wiedmeyer, 2 for Max Huntsman. 4 for Noah Walta, 6 for Andy Simon. 6 for Chop Simmons. 8 for Gannon Schwartz, 10 for Sam Lair, leading the Vikings with 26 points, Noah Gensler. For the Raiders, 3 points, they only have 5 players score. Their starting 5 were the only players tonight to get into the scoring column for the Raiders, but they were big ones. 3 for Maiden Murphy, 6 for Jack Heckman, who was in foul trouble in that first half, so really just about did it in a half of basketball, did Jack Heckman. Braden April hit 3 threes on the night. 3 of the 6 threes that Kiel hit as a team were made by Braden April. He had 15 points. 26 for Grant Mons. He was an animal inside. Just tough to hold down, and Vikings have struggled against some big men this year. No different tonight. 6'5" junior took care of the Vikes to a tune of 26 points, and he wasn't even the leading scorer. That was Pierce Arntz. Finished with 30 points here tonight. 20 in the first half from Arntz, 20 in the second half from Mons. And that adds up to that's a recipe for success, I'll tell you that much, for the Raiders as they continue on their season. Second place over there in the EWC to Brillion. They lost to Brillion by 20 earlier this season. I'll tell you what, that makes me wonder how good that Brillion team is if they were able to take care of these guys by 20 points. 80-64. That's going to do it for us here this evening. Nothing on WLA TV tomorrow, but on Thursday we will be along for the St. Lawrence Seminary versus WLA wrestling duel. That comes up on Thursday. And then Friday, as I mentioned earlier, Mayville and WLA girls basketball here on WLA TV. Hope you'll join us for all of that. Jordan King saying so long. Kiel Raiders 80, Vikings 64. Kiel 13-1 on the season. Vikings dropped to 4.